Why, hello there, Aquarius, and welcome to your November general timeless reading. Thank you for finding me here. If you're new to my channel, welcome to this space that we get to create together. If you're returning, thank you for your continued support. Your likes, your comments, your shares, your subscribes really help to get this channel growing and flowing, right? As we move into the new year, I'm going to be offering a lot of more support on this channel. I really love what I do, and I hope you enjoy it as well. So all those links below, you can find them. I have an eclipse supportive playlist. I have the new moon in Scorpio, a full moon in Taurus. I have a playlist with a collection of readings. You know, really, it's important, I feel, with these messages that you also look at them as cycles, right? So if there is some sort of intuitive hit that you get with this message today that's connected to a past moon cycle or month, go back to that, right? There's always information to feel into from past readings, especially my collective readings and my moon phase readings. Because again, these are phases, these are cycles. Astrology and tarot are evolutionary. So we're feeling into the end of this eclipse cycle and a new cycle for you at that. I've been talking about it, I've been preaching it, and I'm going to continue to preach it, and we're going to talk more about it for sure. And of course, every month we get a little bit deeper, right, as the energy moves of this Pluto and Aquarius everyone's been talking about. Well, it's finally almost here, right? Today is, what's today? I think it's almost approaching. I was like, is it today? It's coming up. So we're probably going to find this reading and it's probably going to be happening. Isn't that awesome? You know, and I don't necessarily like plan out when I record because, you know, I have other things that I'm doing in my life and hopefully you are too, but this is important. This is important stuff and that's why I love to do it. But yeah, if you find this on that day, wow, a wowie. It's here, and again, it's not like a light bulb where you will feel the subtle shifts, and we've been feeling it, right? It's a momentum because each day it moves into different degrees, and I'm going to start talking more about Sabian symbols and incorporating that into my reading, so stay tuned. But yeah, every second is like a clock, and these degrees all influence us in different ways. So just know that you've been feeling this. And it's here. You've arrived. The time is now. And this is beautiful. It's a 20-year approximately cycle for you. And it's going to bring massive change. Of course, it's Pluto, right? And I have a full moon in Aries reading, which goes into more detail on this. It's called the Great Wave. This is the way that I was seeing it. This great wave. You are the water bearer. Last month we talked about this, be like water with that water trine. We're still feeling some of this water influence as I'm recording this. We still are in Scorpio season. We have a lot of the Sag and Leo influence, which we'll talk about, and also Saturn going direct in Pisces. So water, fire. And the way I see it is like volcanic. Although there isn't really much water involved there, water and fire, I think of steam. Right? This kind of steaminess, stew, you know, making like a concoction of sorts. And in the full moon and Taurus reading, again, which is all linked below, I talked about that every single ingredient, nothing is a coincidence. And there's always divine orchestration, especially amongst the stars, the constellations, and the way that things are moving. The gravitational pulls, the peak of the sun cycle that we're also kind of feeling into. You rule the 11th house, Uranus. We had this full moon conjunct Uranus, which is a revolutionary act, and it's also electricity. So there's high frequency, high voltage with the sun cycles. And again, ton of supportive links. Whatever I get, I give. I like to offer support with my readings. It doesn't end at the table. So if you want to go deeper in this message with me, check out my website for a plethora of services that I provide. And on Patreon, again, we're going to be diving deep. Next year, I'm going to be doing a lot more series. I'm going to be preparing us for 2025 on Patreon with my all signs, every sign, 2025 reading and astrology forecast. So join me there. You also get 20% off all my services all the time as a Patreon member, and all the love extended readings, and also whatever else I got up my sleeve. All right, all that out of the way. We're almost 6 minutes in. So we got some guided messages here. I sit with your energy, whatever comes out, and astrology, okay? And then we're gonna pull some cards, of course, and the love reading. These are more self-focused, but if love shows up, all the better. You use your discernment, right? The power of free will is always at play. Take what resonates. Yes, the love reading is linked below as well for November. And again, they're timeless. I just marked them that for my own collection. And also for you to, again, check back. I'm getting that message for you. Like, oh, what about this month? What about that month? What was going on then? Especially for you in February with this Plutonic energy. February was a big, massive movement for you with this shift. So you could even check back to February, okay? All right, so Leo, Mars and Leo. It's going to be dancing back between Mars and Cancer and Mars and Leo until June. We have Mars retrograde coming up. I'll talk about that in December when we get there. But as for now, it's in your 7th house, and it's going to dance back and forth between 6th and 7th until June. What does this mean? Mars in the 7th house. Again, Leo's your opposite. It's always going to hit your 7th house of partnership, Libra. So that would be August, end of July, August, that you're going to really feel a lot of change around partnerships. There's a spotlight effect, right? Good or bad. But Mars is about asserting ourselves. This could be forward movement in relationships, whatever that might be, especially during Scorpio season. It can feel like massive shifts, like a tower moment. But, tower moments are not all bad. They're never bad, actually, because guess what? The foundation was faulty. So it's good to make those changes, make those adjustments that are required. So with Mars going retrograde, and retrogrades to me are not necessarily a bad thing. It's actually a great opportunity for us to refine. It's an attunement. And we're going to be feeling more into, again, some of the external planets, Uranus going retrograde, but Neptune's going to go direct. Hallelujah. As Saturn in Pisces goes direct, Neptune and Pisces go hand in hand. So a lot of the fantasy, stripping away the illusion, surrendering. We can no longer close our eyes. Pluto in Aquarius. This is 11th, 12th house. The subconscious realms are now being seen as Mercury goes retrograde. Mars will go retrograde for a period of time, right? Those periods of times are short, so it's not like we have to sit in it forever. There is going to be a bit of tension applied, but again, retrogrades, where the tension lies is where the growth is. So try to have a growth mindset, reframing. We've been talking about this since September when it came to me. I knew about reframing. I'm a psych major. So I like to incorporate this into my tarot and astrology, right? They go hand in hand. But reframing is such a great tool. It's not to say that we're being naive or spiritual bypassing or toxic positivity, because that's not what it's about. It's just an idea and concept around our emotions, our feelings, the internal dialogue, the inner critic turning into the inner coach. It affects our actions. It affects our energy. It affects how people see us. That's just the reality, okay? Science! The complexities of being a human. So yes, 6th, 7th, what are my duties and responsibilities amongst relationships? Also, 6th house, Mars and Cancer, again, it's gonna go back and forth. And also Mars retrograde, you can kind of reflect on the 6th house, right? Looking back is healthy relationships, purifying connections, deepening connections, your sense of responsibility amongst connections. This is going to be highlighted. We have the Sag influence in your 11th house. Very fitting for you. It's a very water-air combo. 11th house is your house. So Sag season is always going to be beneficial for you to some extent. Again, connections, a lot around connections. 11th is also networks. The difference between Mars and the 7th, between a Mercury and Sun and Sag in the 11th, is the 11th is more about not as intimate partnerships, our values in relationships. 11th house is what motivates us from our 10th, which is our achievements, our soul's mission, right? Much like the North Node, South Node, which you should get familiar with that if you don't know it. I have also another playlist below with North and South Node readings. The 11th house is about kind of like our soul tribe. You know, these are our people that are really meant to be catalysts and move us into our North Node. Okay, so they might actually, you might notice in Sag season, your North and South Node, whatever those signs are, you might be meeting those types of people, that kind of thing, or pulling on those qualities in your waking life. Also, 11th house is hopes, wishes. It's the star card, right? So this is about things that you are wishing for, affirming to yourself, reframing to yourself in Sag season. Sag is also about just our truth in general, deepening our truth, getting to know our Chiron as well. Sag represents the wounded healer. So I'm going to be doing a Chiron series here by the end of November. So again, like, share, and make sure to hit the notification bell so you know when I post. Getting familiar with your Chiron, all these parts of your chart always make the whole picture. Saturn direct in your second house. This could be money picking up. Also, it's about values is what you have. So lots around the people that are supporting you at this time. And Pisces also got that message. Is really you and Pisces, they're your neighbors, so there's lots to learn from them. Is like, who can I rely on? Who's going to support me in these changes and shifts? And how can I support myself? Because again, it comes back to self. So let's get into your messages here. I got the song, let's hear it for the boys. Let's hear it for my baby. Denise Williams, whatever you listen to, it's in the lyrics. Maybe we'll see why it connects in the cards. But I heard taking one for the team. You know, this is, again, support. She talks about how my baby's not perfect, but, you know, he's doing all he can and he shows up for me in that kind of way. So it could feel like you're cheering someone on, or someone's being a cheerleader for you in relationships, right? Again, support. And then I heard sophomore. You could be a sophomore in college or high school. It could be that simple. But then I looked into the Greek meaning, and it connected to the wise fool, fool's journey, much like the zero, the starting degrees, right, of Pluto and Aquarius. So there's something about the fool, Aries. You could have Aries in your chart. It's the wise fool, sophomore. It could talk about kind of Seven of Swords as well, because that's your card, and not in a bad way. But this is clever, you know, wise tactics, strategies, strategizing. But the fool, the wise fool, sophomore, although it's the 0 point, again, what I'm getting for you is that whatever you've taken from, again, these experiences before the last, 16, 20 years with Pluto and Capricorn, apply it. And you're going to continue to climb up the ladder, sophomore, junior, senior. So this is like Sag energy as well. Mentorship, leadership, new people coming in to help you graduate, right? Maybe going into your master's. Some of you could be going back to school, that type of thing, okay? Because it's in your first house. So this is about identity, like, sense of self. Pluto in the first house, really showing up. And again, you might be feeling like you're graduating to some extent, or you're moving up the ladder. I saw a ladder, becoming a junior, senior. Or also I got juvenile. So something could feel juvenile, or you felt like something from your childhood was holding you back. An old way. Again, Plutonic energy is going to shift. It's like rising from the ashes. It's the phoenix. It's, death, rebirth, cycles, shedding skin, death of identity. And you also talk about that, Aquarius, is identity, social constructs. This is a revolutionary act, really. The rebel, the rebel with a cause, though. So this is the thing about the wise fool, is that you have to take the wisdom that you've gained up into this moment. Wherever you have Pluto in your chart, it's going to hit you. So also Saturn, because wisdom is Saturn. Also Sag, where you have Sag, Capricorn in your chart, your Saturn placements, 9th house, this type of thing, 9th and 10th are very strong for you. Scorpio as well highlights your 10th house. So this is, again, you're moving up the ladder. In Scorpio season, you could have really started to feel that push. Like, okay, now I know what I need to do to get to that next level. And Pluto, I got the word sacrifice. It's sacrificing an aspect of self for the collective, 11th. And it's not in a bad way. It's not like we are sacrificing. It's more of an offering. Okay, it's not that I have to give and feel depleted, or I'm giving too much of myself. It might feel like that for an extended period of time, but in your heart of hearts, you know that this is for your betterment and also the betterment of everyone around you. Okay, so as long as it feels that way, where it doesn't feel like you're necessarily sacrificing without a cause, a higher purpose, a higher calling, 11th, 12th house. I got the Hangman as well, so you could be dealing with the Pisces. That's that sacrifice energy with Pluto. Pluto might come to collect something, but it also rewards, much like Saturn. All right, let's go into it. That was your messages. I want to read from this book. This is an amazing book. If you don't have it and you're a tarot enthusiast like myself, add it to your collection. It talks a lot about the outer planets. It talks a lot about Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Pluto, your ruling planet. So I just wanted to read a couple sentences here about Pluto and Aquarius. So whatever house Pluto is in, it's going to be in your first, is in a highly energized, I'm going to read that again. Whatever house Pluto is found in is highly energized, for it is here that one is in immediate contact with a deep reservoir of concentrated power. So you could be regaining your power. And much like Scorpio season, the new moon in Scorpio reading I did, we cannot do it from a place of control, domination. How are you utilizing your power? Are you using it constructively? Are you working in tandem with others? Honorable exchange, full moon in Taurus. This is the opposing end of Scorpio energy, is Taurus. Is okay, my resources, my values, how can I be of service? 6 of Pentacles was strong. Generosity came up as well in full moon in Taurus. And again, there's a balance there we're learning. A few examples may help to explain this connection between Pluto and a resonance with a past pattern of life. Again, I see like juvenile, parts of your childhood, things that felt juvenile, other relationships that felt juvenile, petty. Aquarius, I know that's something when it comes to emotions for you, where you're like, that's just petty. Let's move beyond that. And I remember talking to you about this in a couple months back of reframing that as well. There is a part of the shadow work for Aquarius is to understand their emotions, much like all air signs, is that it's not always petty. You might, that might be your jerk reaction, and maybe that's where you've been juvenile or maybe childlike behavior that you're learning, like, okay, that doesn't always serve me. There's a time for me to move beyond my emotions, but I also have to feel. Pisces, it's 2025 is Pisces North Node. So yeah, Saturn direct, Pisces. Pluto in the first house is one of the most difficult Pluto positions to have in a natal chart. And again, this isn't your natal chart, but this is a 16-20-year cycle. So this is much like a natal, okay? Here, the person usually experiences an almost continual identity crisis throughout his or her first 25 years or even longer. So this will depend on your Saturn return. If you're past that, which is 28, 29-ish, 30 years of age, then this might feel a little easier. But if you're at your Saturn return while this is happening, you might want to get some support through this, okay? A reading with me or just understanding your birth chart. But where does this feeling come from? I feel that this factor is only explainable in terms of reincarnation and karma, Pisces, past lives. We're feeling into that as well. It says we can gather from the above examples that Pluto's house position shows a past pattern of life that is carried over into this life. The power from the past is still there. Culmination of knowledge you have gained, Aquarius. But evidently the time has come to use that power in a new way. Yes, Scorpio season is teaching you this. There's never coincidence with the timing that this is shifting during a Scorpio season. Isn't that interesting? All right. And I actually bookmarked it with this card, so apparently that was meant for you. It says, today I will focus on simplicity. A blade of grass, a smile, and a good thought or simple breathing in and out is simple. Truth is simple. Discover simplicity. So that's where it's like maybe reframing it from that's petty, that's juvenile, to let's simplify. Let's empathize. Let's simplify this. It doesn't have to be so extreme, volatile like things have felt, right? Pluto, Scorpio season. All right, let's ring the bell and start your reading. Calling in your ancestors, your guides, your allies. What messages need to come in for Aquarius for their highest and greatest good? Let's call upon my angels, my guides, my healed ancestors. Ascended masters for Aquarius. Okay, what do we want to pull from? We're going to pull from the archetypes to start off your reading here. Aquarius. Let's hear it for the boys. Let's hear it for my baby. What an old song. I just saw, like, I think it came through again as like a cheerleader. So maybe Pluto's like cheering you on, or some aspect of your chart. I do synastry readings as well, which look at, again, the evolutionary process of your chart. We see what planets are moving with your chart, the ring. When I see the ring, I automatically think of a promise, some sort of promise you made to yourself or another. Again, we have a lot of this 6th, 7th kind of Mars in the 7th house for you right now. And then again, Saturn in your 11th. Community, outreach, support, partners, partnering up. Let's read from the archetypes. The ring. This also could literally physically be a ring that you have, like something that is sacred to you that you wear. Again, you could be getting engaged for some of you. Promise ring. Let's see, the ring. It could be a tool for you that you use, something that's sacred. I'm getting like a worry stone. It could be a ring that you can kind of like fidget with. I know I love my rings. I feel lost without wearing rings. I don't feel like myself. I'm like, I need my rings. So something that you're wearing, it doesn't have to be a ring. It could just be an emblem of something that you wear it keeps you feeling protected. This is about sacred cycles. Also, yeah, because the ring is that cycle. Right, we've been talking about cycles for sure. Massive transformations, identity crisis. Who am I? What am I doing? What am I going to do here with Pluto in my sign? It's an image of connectedness rather than viewing life as linear, as a series of progressive achievements. Again, that's exactly what we're saying. Something from your past that felt juvenile. Again, also, you could look back at high school years. You could still be in those years, but you could look back to sophomore, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. If you graduated or didn't, those years are important, whenever that is for you. The ring challenges us to sense the cyclical, infinite nature of our world and experiences. Beginnings and endings fall by the wayside as we practice seeing ourselves as part of the cosmic circulatory of creation. For this reason, it is no surprise a ring is worn on the finger to represent eternal love that surpasses space, time, and worldly things. So much can be projected onto the archetypal image because it mimics the Earth's orbit around our great sun and the intimate bond between two lovers. It is the micro and macro united. Yes, 11th house. So it goes, like I said, Mars in your 7th to Saturn in your 11th. Lots of big Saturnian lessons in relationships. Good. You could be piecing the connections now, making it more concrete. Physical, 3D, ring. Something that's tangible, something you can see, touch, feel. Taurus, full moon. And it says, take stock of the jewels you adorn yourself with See, this is a weird typo. Take stock of the jewels you adorn yourself with. Watch out for rings you wear out of habit that keep you connected to the old you. Oh, so I'm also getting that you could be literally disengagement, no more of that. Or it could just be like a ring or something. I know I've done this before. I'll share with you where I've done release rituals of objects that were connected to people or times in my life. And it was hard because I really loved that thing, but it was my offering. So this could be something that you're offering, shedding something, like this could be decluttering something. It doesn't have to just be jewelry, okay? But it is something connected to a physical object of sorts. That is something that you can purge. Okay, we're gonna pull from the after. Actually, no, fairies. Gotta do my fairies and then we'll do some tarot. So this is my Scorpio deck. The fairies. This is Scorpio Pisces deck for me. I bust this out for those magical months. All the signs have magic, but those two for me are, you know, occult knowledge, the deep dive, buried treasure, 8th house. And then we have 12th house, which is past lives. This is the void. My fairies. I love my fairy friends. They've been definitely deepening these messages. I might incorporate them more when I feel called. I don't want to limit myself to just those months. There could be something of significance since I'm mentioning that of Pisces. Again, the Hangman was showing up for you. Where do you have Pisces in your chart? Sag or Scorpio. It's going to strengthen you again. Strong signatures and markers. All right, Aquarius. What are the fairies trying to tell you? What does the fairies have to say to Aquarius? Penelope. Dreamweavers. I love this artist. Brian Froud. I always feel like I say names wrong. I'm horrible with names. Brian Froud. So you have Penelope. Dreamweavers. Dreamweaver. Da 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 da. This is you piecing together some dream of yours. I don't know who sings that song, but I'm gonna link it. Dreamweavers. Again, all those links will be below. Supportive content, you name it. 2810 cycles, cyclical cycles. Yeah, this is a massive cycle. Of course it is. It's the start of a new cycle. 1-0, right? The Fool. So the Fool is a very strong message for you, Aries. Aries season. We have Aries North Node and Aries Chiron. Again, you could have an Aries North Node. We just wrapped up that cycle. But it's like from start to finish. Something is feeling that way. Okay. Inspiration, magical dreams, visions. Beautiful. Inspiration, weavers of dreams, bringer of visions, muse of artistic inspiration. Penelope wears tapestries in the mind with threads of light, color, and sound, which is very much you. You represent light. Also, you represent electricity, frequency. When she comes to us in dreams, we awaken under her enchantment and rush for our paints of clay. So this could you also be an artist, painting. Maybe this is something that you're wanting to do more of because this could be inspiring you. Also, I'm getting reminded that there could be an old painting that you can gift or give to someone as an offering, something that's very sacred to you as a way to hand off an old part of you. Maybe there's a painting in your house that you're like, okay, that reminds me of a past version of self that now I'm creating a new identity here. Or you could be literally making something, the ring, making a painting. Maybe you're being called to make jewelry or do something, to make something physical, to also not just get rid of something from the past, but to make something new, bringing new energy in. So yeah, this is inspired action. Mine says to call her Grace because she says that she isn't exactly someone I deserve, just someone I'm lucky to have enough in my life. She plays hard at inspiring me, as is Penelope with Brian. Penelope says she's very pleased with Brian's results of her inspirations. So Brian is the artist, by the way, we're talking about here. So she is satisfied with his masterpiece of her. She's like, good job. That's the cheerleader. You could be rooting someone on to create something too. Then she flashes me with a wicked grin, so I think it is all right. Inspiration fairies like their jobs, but they get really bored when people don't pay attention to them. Then they sit around and file their fingernails while they think troublesome and mischievous thoughts. Sometimes they get exacerbated enough to send us nightmares and attempt to get us to wake up. These fairies are their sisters, the fairies of expression, work together as teams, okay? Helping us in our creative endeavors. So there could be like writer's block, creative block. And now this fairy is coming in to inspire you to seek visions, to seek, again, a graduation of sorts. You also could, again, Sag season is 9th house. This is, again, mentorship. You could be going back to practice a craft, work with your hands in some way. Yeah, working with your hands is going to be very powerful at this time, especially the ring is something that we wear on our hand. And it could be something simple with simplicity. You know, if you feel like you're like, I'm not a creative person, I don't know. It doesn't have to be perfect. It could be very simple. Discover simplicity. Truth is simple. It doesn't have to be grandiose. But you could be literally like in art school. I did see like that junior, senior. Okay. Aquarius. What do we have for the Aquarius Collective? Thank you for watching. If you made it this far, I really appreciate you. Hit that like button. Empress, Ace of Wands. Hello, growth, creativity. She is the creatress of all things. Mother, spirits. What do we have for Aquarius? My Aquarius Collective. What's happening to you now? We're going to put from the After Tarot. Aquarius, what do they need to know for their highest and greatest good for this month? Whatever they find it, really. Oh, there's the Empress in reverse. But we saw it upright. So again, you might flip-flop because of the 9 of Wands. Okay. Aquarius, what do we got for you? Okay. We'll start here. Okay, so we have lots of fire. We have Leo, Sag, Taurus, Libra. Taurus, again, 6 of Pentacles, Gemini. Page of Wands. Could be Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. You know what's interesting is this is also the master creator. Page of Wands, because wands represent creation, it's action, it's hope, it's also spirit, connection with spirit. There's lots of people here. Okay. That, again, these could be aspects of self. These are self-focused, but this is, again, people. Again, you have Mars and Leo. This is Leo energy here, which have been testing and trying you. But I feel like it's strengthened you, but you could feel weakened by it at times. Also, with just the creative energy of the Empress, there could be some sort of project that's kind of felt delayed. Or again, you're shifting identities into one that you created before, and now you could be creating something new. Going back to the drawing board with the Empress in reverse, whether you're male or female doesn't matter. But the Empress in reverse is like, okay, where is there room to grow? Where can I humble myself? Where can I go back to school, or again, retreat for a bit, study, kind of this hermit energy? Because there could have been naysayers around you that made you feel defeated, but you're dropping some of the conflict, or maybe also other people's beliefs, opinions, trying to be more balanced. 6 of Pentacles. And again, what you can give, what you can't. That was a big message for you last month with the water bearer. You know, you only pour what you can. And that's the sacred act of Aquarius, is you are the water bearer. So it's knowing when to pour and when to hold back, right? Being resourceful, 6 of Pentacles. And standing guard a bit. I'm actually going to read from the book here because I'm being called to for this Page of Wands, because the difference with the After Tarot is you can see here, like I said, there's something creative being birthed within you, or literally it's physically something you do. Art, music, dance, poetry. You know, Leo and Mars can definitely bring that up. It's 5th house. It's the house of creation, entertainment. But as you can see, this face is looking a bit somber. He's having to walk away from something, right? A woman in this picture that maybe doesn't want to go on this journey, it's looking like. But let's read from it. This book is going to give us a little more detail onto why. I'm getting that it's just leaving an old self behind, right? An aspect of self like we've been talking about, having to walk forward on a new path and deliver something as well, because pages deliver messages. This is also, pages are children, so it's an aspect of the inner child or again past. We talked about juvenile, so something that felt juvenile, inner child work, a part of self from the past that you are walking away from, or you know, trying to walk into something that's more inspired, because you could have felt again a bit uninspired lately with the Empress. Give me a second here. I never really used this book, but I'm feeling called to use it for you. I don't tend to read from the books like, unless they're oracles, but there's something about this that's really standing out. So give me a second here. Where are you? Okay, we're getting into the wands now. The fives. We want the pages. Here we go. Okay. Bear with me. Patience is a virtue. Maybe this is something that you've had to be patient about. The ebbs and flows of creation. And knowing that, you know, sometimes I'm just not going to be in that place. It's a balance. Six of Pentacles. Okay. Why is this being so elusive? It's like, no, you can't say this. Yeah, so it says here, the Page of Wands is the personification of fire. He embodies the fiery energy that connects the suit of wands to the world of spirit and creativity. He's filled with energy, ambition, and drive. He's daring and courageous. But I want more. Is that all you're going to give me from this book? Excuse me, book. I paid for more than that. Let's see here real quick from the beginning of this book before I'm going to move on, because you're probably like, okay, on to the next thing. But there's a reason why I'm feeling pulled to tell you this. Maybe you're just not meant to. Maybe you're supposed to interpret it yourself. Maybe this is something that you already know. Yeah, we're going to move on because it's just not giving me more information and I'm not going to waste your time here. But yeah, it's something that you're having to leave behind potentially. Again, it could just be other people's opinions, conflict around something. This could be internal with the Empress. Again, back to the drawing board, Page of Swords. Also with the After Tarot is that usually the Page of Swords is standing solo. In this image, you see people approaching. So now that they have been maybe spying or researching, again, Sag is about study, is that now there's people approaching. So it's like, okay, as you leave someone else, there's people walking towards you, new connections, new people. And this person is now curious. They're definitely keeping a watchful eye, much like the Nine of Wands, watchful eye, but there's someone next to you. See, that's support. So the main message with these cards is that there could be people exiting and there's new connections coming in, which that's beautiful. That are going to actually inspire you to step more into this Empress, this creative flow, creative project, dance, music, art, something that inspires you with the wands, something that you've been studying on, something that you want to maybe go back to school for. Page of Swords is my scholar card. All right, what's some advice? And then we're going to take this over to the love reading. We'll pull some tarot, astro tarot cards of signs you could be dealing with, months, transits, all that good stuff. Any other advice? Meditate and contemplate. Yeah, that's that Page of Swords. Pisces again. The lunar eclipse in Pisces reading, it really set the tone for this new cycle approaching. So I highly encourage all of you, again, if you like my style, join me on Patreon. You get access to all the content there. But yeah, there's, North Node. Yeah, there we go. It is time to take action. Be bold to make the first move. Yeah, you are definitely stepping into your North Node. I would highly encourage you to look into your North Node. okay? For some of you, I'm guessing maybe it could be either Taurus, it could be Gemini, it could be Sag, it could be Leo. That's what's showing up strongly, or Capricorn, North or South Node. South Node in reverse. Don't let the past hold you back. Yeah. So that's where you're walking away from some past conflict, whether it's internal, external, people around you. I'm seeing it as some people around you that just don't serve you anymore. And it doesn't have to be something that you make a big stink about. 5 of Wands in reverse. But you know now you have healthier boundaries and you're allowing more people to come in, but you're observing with the Page of Swords, these people coming in. Could be an Aries, Pisces we're seeing here. Strong Aries and Pisces are strong signatures of people, or again, aspects of your chart. Let's see for love. The love link will be below, as well as all those other links you can find for support. More content, my playlist, all that good stuff. Stay tuned for the Chiron series. I'm going to be diving into the Aries through Gemini Chiron. I'm going to be recording those today, so stay tuned, subscribe. What signs could Aquarius be dealing with in love? Again, I lean towards intimate, but this could be friends or family, or just people around you, right? And it's a you versus them reading, and you can place the roles as you see fit. We pull energies for both people, see how they connect. Aquarius, I wanted to say Aries. Aquarius, you could be dealing with an Aries. Aquarius in love. You could have a Venus and Aries. Water signs. Yeah, we did see Pisces, strong Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. What else? What signs could Aquarius be dealing with in love? What signs could Aquarius be dealing with in love? Angels, guides, allies, please show me the truth for my Aquarius collective. Aquarius in love. Fire. Yeah, we saw that very strongly. Taurus, Cancer, Venus. Yeah, I was just saying that. Remember, fire Venus, water Venus, Aries and Venus. So Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, Aries, Leo, Sag, Taurus, Cancer, Venus. You could have a Cancer, Venus, or any of these in your Venus sign, or they could. Alrighty. Let's dive into your love reading. I hope to find you over there, but if this is where we part, bye for now. Take care.